Hello, I am Peter Lee for Newsbud's China Watch. This week on China Watch, China Cold War, the good, the bad, and the ugly. In this episode, we look at recent developments in the burgeoning U.S. campaign against the PRC and find grounds for optimism, reason to order that lead-lined suit from Amazon, and some train wreck stuff you simply can't look away from in Australia, of course. As usual, China is trying to dodge polarization and confrontation, and as has been the case since the Pentagon gained control over the U.S. government's China policy apparatus, the U.S. has been trying to push China into a strategic and geopolitical corner. And meanwhile, Australia has been working mightily to prove itself as America's most loyal and obedient asset in Asia. Collateral damage be damned. The big news for the People's Republic of China this week was that the European Union did not walk away from its balancer role between the United States and China. At a confab in Brussels, some significant bases for EU-China engagement were affirmed, and relatively less space was given to the U.S. position that the PRC is a cancer on the international order that must be contained and eventually removed. This welcome news, at least to the PRC, was pretty much overshadowed by Donald Trump's statement that he was pulling America out of the U.S.-Russia Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty, or INF. And it became immediately clear that the target of this declaration was not nasty old Russia, it was China. And it looks like Asia can reacquaint itself with the pleasures of nuclear weapons from the United States in their neighborhood. But everything else was completely overshadowed by the uproar over the disappearance and presumed murder of Jalil Khashoggi in the Saudi embassy in Turkey. Newsbud founder and editor-in-chief Sibel Edmonds is on the ground in Turkey, and her Twitter feed at Sibel Edmonds is the go-to source for up-to-date news and analysis on the Khashoggi story. The Khashoggi uproar is being fueled and sustained not just by the Washington Post, but also by a steady and skillful series of leaks from the Turkish government and buttressed by intelligence community poobahs in the United States and the UK looking to stick it to Trump's personal diplomacy and his personal envoy, Jared Kushner. You know, it makes me wonder if Turkey's notoriously clumsy media management team is getting some high-quality assistance and direction from America's deep state masters. Well, when you want to get stroked and provoked on a hot-button murder story that might involve a bone saw, you turn to the mainstream media. But when you want a knowledgeable, critical analysis that cuts through the hype and dissects the spin, there's pretty much only Newsbud. So, follow Sibel on Twitter at Sibel Edmonds and subscribe to Newsbud, independent news and views funded only by we the people. Navigate to newsbud.com and subscribe now to gain full access to this show, the full archive of nearly 100 episodes of China Watch, and Newsbud's unmatched roster of experts and analysts. Do it now. You need Newsbud and China Watch now more than ever.